This video is important because what I'm going to talk about next Monday is going to be, hey, if the market goes up 20% and the IUL is capped at 12%, or heck, the index annuity is capped at 4%, does the insurance company keep that excess? What happens to that excess? The answer to that question is the insurance company does not keep the excess. What happened to that excess? That excess never happened. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to explain that next week. Also going to explain why IUL can have caps so much higher than index annuities. Not that IUL is better, it's just there are some things involved with IUL that are not involved with index annuities and vice versa. IUL, it's for a completely different purpose than index annuities. I'm a fan of both these products. I'm just going to clarify that next week. But what is a call option? You know, wouldn't it be cool if you could buy, say 1 year from now, if you could buy a stock that is worth $120, that's the market value of the stock 1 year from now. But if you could buy that stock for say $110, you know, almost 10% more than what you're paying for it is what you're getting. Wouldn't that be cool? The stock again is worth $120. But you're paying $110 for that a year from now. That's an immediate almost 10% gain, right? 9% gain, whatever it is. Conversely, wouldn't it be cool if you owned a stock today, but over the next year's period of time, the value of that stock plummeted to say $50. So it's $100 today, $50 is what it's worth a year from now. Wouldn't it be cool if you could sell that stock to somebody else or put that stock to somebody else and they have to pay you, say, $80, a whole $30 more than what that stock is actually worth a year from now? That would be a good hedge should the value of your stock plummet. The answer to those questions is yes, it would be cool, and yes, you can do those. The first one that I explained, so should the market go up or should that stock go up to where you could capitalize on that, that's called a call option. A call option is a right but not the obligation to purchase a stock or an instrument at an agreed upon price at some point in the future. The second thing I discussed is available. It's called a put option. A put option is a right but not the obligation to sell a security or instrument at an agreed upon price at some point in the future, right? These are called derivatives. Futures contracts, they're derivatives. Call options, they're derivatives, meaning that the value of these things are derived from something else. For example, Apple stock. For example, the S&P 500 index. For example, Microsoft, et cetera, et cetera. That's what a derivative is. That's what a call option is. That's what a put option is. Let's put some numbers to this call option. Let's say that today, Microsoft, I think is around 100, actually I think it's around $106 to be exact. But let's say today, Microsoft stock is at $100. Let's say that you want to buy a call option so that 1 year from now, you can buy this stock at a price of $110 1 year from now. So let's go out 1 year. That's the 1 year, 365 days. That price that you're going to buy this contract that allows you to purchase this stock. You don't own it today. This is going to allow you to purchase this stock at $110 a year from now. That $110 that this call option will be based off of, this $110 will be called the strike price. That's a strike price, $110. Meaning, again, that is what you would pay should you choose to exercise this option. And then I'll back up a little bit. If you're confused, that's all right. I'll clarify it here in a bit. But this is called the strike price. That is what you are willing to shell out 1 year from now in order to purchase this stock. What the heck is the value of that? Why would I not just purchase this stock for $100? And that way, if it goes up $105, well, I've gained 5% of my money. What is the value of this thing called a call option? Here's a cool thing with a call option, is in this example, a 10% out of the money call option, as it's called, a 10% out of the money call option, or something that has a strike price 10% higher than what the current value is. I would be willing to guess that this Microsoft call option would cost probably around $7 or $8, right? But let's say that this right, but not the obligation to purchase this stock. Let's say that this contract only costs us, say $5. $5. That's what you're shelling out today, right? That is the call option budget you have today. That's what you're going to pay to get that call option. Now let's do some math here. Here is why call options are extremely, extremely risky, because that $5 that you paid, maybe a heck of a lot more. You may buy 10,000 of these contracts in which $5 is not $5, it's actually $50,000, right? So even though $5 seems small, don't let that lead you down the wrong mental path there. It can be very, very expensive and thus very, very risky. The downside to call options is that if the market drops between now and over the next year's period of time, this is the exercise date. By the way, this is a European call option I'm talking about here. And a European call option says on that date, 365 days from now, that is when you have a choice of exercising the option or not exercising the option. Well, if the market or if the Microsoft stock did this over the next year's period of time and basically went to $1, would any person in their right mind exercise this call option and say, yeah, I'm going to buy this stock. I'm going to exercise it and buy this stock for $110. Nobody on earth would do that, right? Why? Because it's worth only $1. If it was a put option, that would be a different thing. This would be a good thing. But the call option, nobody on earth would shell out $110 to get a stock worth $1 or $2, right? So the downside to call options is you can lose 100% of your investment. It's basically all or nothing, right? Well, I get the nothing, but what is the all part? It's not really all, but you get what I'm saying here. Well, the all part, so to speak, is this, is what happens if the market goes the other way? What happens if over a year's period of time, that stock gets in the money, as you've heard, and what if at the end of that year's period of time, that stock ends up at, say, $120? You have the right, but not the obligation at that point in time to exercise this call option. And remember, the strike price, what you would be paying for that stock would be $110. So you have a $110 price that you are going to pay, that you can pay, that by contract somebody has to allow you to pay for that stock that's worth $120. Would you purchase this $120 Microsoft stock for the cost of only $110? The answer to that question is absolutely. You absolutely would exercise that option at that point in time. Question: what, from a percentage standpoint, was your profit over that year's period of time? Many people say, well, you bought it for, $110, you bought it for $110, it's worth $120. What is that? That's about a 9% profit? No. What was your investment into this call option? Your investment was $5, right? You ended up you shelled out 10, you got 120, or you got something worth 120, which you can turn around and sell immediately, by the way, for 120. So you made $10 here, but at the beginning of the year, you only invested $5. What is that? That's a 100% return. That's why call options have that huge upside leverage, right? That is a 100% return. You put in $5, you got $10 back. This is how options work. And this is an example off stock, but there are also index call options, S&P 500 index call options. There are American call options. American call options say that you can exercise that option anytime it goes into the money, should you choose to do that. But with index products, we are mostly talking about European call options, 12 months, if we're talking annual reset designs, 12 months after, you bought the call option with a 1-year maturity effectively. So I hope this makes sense of at least the upside leverage power that call options have. And by the way, with index products, it's usually at the money call options, which means, the strike price is where the index is today, the S&P 500. If that's what the strategy is, then the strike price is going to be an at the money option. And then if the market goes up from there, well, whatever it is, 365 days from now, the difference between that and where the market ends is what that leverage is based on. And there are a lot of other things that go into it. Technically, insurance companies, they buy and sell options. Insurance companies don't always buy the options, which is called static hedging. Many times they basically do this by dynamically hedging. It's a difference of buying a car, which is what I just explained, that insurance companies can do where they buy call options, or it's a difference of saying, you know what, I want to make the car. I want to do exactly what this person who's selling us the call options on the other side of the trade, I want to do that myself in-house. There are a lot of companies that do this dynamic hedging to where they don't buy call options. They actually do all this stuff themselves by buying and selling futures, buying and selling call options, hedging interest rates, hedging delta, gamma, theta, vega, rho, all that other fun stuff, which I'm certainly not going to go into. But that is the upside power of call options. The upside power of put options is, what if that went to $1, you know, if you bought a put option, that went to $1, you had the ability to sell your stock that is only worth $1 to somebody else for, say, $80, right? Now that somebody else is getting the short end of the stick, but that's a good hedging technique that you can use, right? I hope that makes sense. If this description on call options, a little bit on put options makes sense to you, and if you liked it, like it, comment, share with friends. I'm on a mission to educate everybody on these things called index products. But the background knowledge should be is, what is a call option? It's the right but not the obligation to pay for a security at a strike price at any point in time in the future. And that is what the upside is based on, or that's what the instrument is that gives the upside with index products. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day. Again, feel free to share with your friends, like it, or comment constructive criticism. Thank you.